Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh!
You're now tuned into Klive's Kitchen, Kookin With Kraven, hosted by me, Klive Kraven. Stay tuned for a dope recipe that'll fill your fat gut to the next level and beyond. Nothing but the illest meals, only on Klive's Kitchen.
You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate, so eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and feed it.
Welcome to Klive's Kitchen, you're cooking with Kraven. Today we're gonna get into something real special. It's the season finale, 10 episodes strong. We're gonna make something real nice. We're gonna do dill scallops with cream potatoes, peas, and a dessert special. Gotta stick around to the end to find out what the dessert is. Don't go nowhere, you're cooking with Kraven. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get these potatoes chopped up, get them into some boiling water. So first thing first, we're gonna get the heat going. We're gonna take these potatoes, we're gonna chop these down. Don't need to be in the smallest pieces. Just want to get it to where it's small enough to where they're bite size. We're gonna do that with the rest of these. Okay, so we got the potatoes all chopped up. Water's getting ready to boil. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take some salt, put some in the water, not a ton, just enough for some flavoring. We're gonna take these potatoes, get these in there. I want to let these potatoes cook here in this water for about 5 to 10 minutes boiling until desired. We're going to mix those up. Keep the heat on them. Let that salt absorb into the potato. Also, gonna get these peas going. Put this on medium high. Got a half cup of water. Put that in. Got some sweet baby peas. Get your bag open. Not gonna use a full bag here. Got spillage. Not gonna use a full bag here. We're just gonna put in roughly about half of the bag. Go ahead and give that a shake. Just enough to coat those water. Keep the heat on that. Keep the heat on these potatoes. Just a few minutes from now, these will be exactly where they need to be. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this sauce going for the potatoes. So we're gonna start off, turn the pan on. We're gonna start off with some shortening. Take that shortening, get it in your pan, throw some heat on it. Just gonna kind of use it to coat the pan first. Just gonna let it break down a little bit. See, it doesn't take very long before it starts melting. As soon as that heat hits, it's just like butter. Break right down for you. Got our potatoes still boiling, peas still cooking. Make sure you give those a good stir. Don't forget anybody. Pretty soon these potatoes will be done. Same for these peas. Once the shortening gets about to this point, it really starts melting down, breaking down good for you. If you want to go ahead, hit it with some salt and pepper. Mix that in. Gonna go ahead, add in some flour. Mix that around. You're going to start to add in cream real slow. Full cup. This will all thicken up as it cooks. You keep adding that cream. Don't want to put it all in at once. You want to slowly add this in. Let that sit. Keep moving. Just another minute. This should be fully cooked. You're going to keep adding this cream until it's all done. Let it thicken up. We'll be right back in a second. Don't go nowhere. You're cooking with Kraven. Okay, so as you can see, we got our mix done. Starts to make like a dough-like consistency. I'm going to go ahead, take that off the heat, let it sit for a moment. We're going to take our peas, run them through the strainer. Let the water get out. Put it into a bowl. I'm going to leave the strainer in here because we're going to need that again. Take our potatoes off. I'm going to run them through the strainer. We go ahead and hit these with hot water. Put as much of that water strain out as you can. I'm going to take the potatoes, put them in a bowl. Now we're going to take the potatoes, we're going to grab our mix, we're going to pour this into the potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in real nice. a nice cream-based sauce. Give them a nice flavor and texture added to the potato. Really good blend. Got Casualties of War. Okay. Now we got that to the point it needs to be. We got our peas together. We're gonna go ahead. Next thing we gotta do now is gotta get these scallops going. Don't go nowhere. You're cooking with Kraven. Okay, so we're getting to the main dish now. We got a plate full of scallops here. Look beautiful. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get these in the pan. Once we get these on the heat, you don't have real long to work with them. You want to keep that in mind. You want to cook these on low heat too. So we'll put them on about on medium. And right off the break, we're going to start off with a piece of lemon. Squeeze some of that lemon juice right off in there. Gives it a lot of flavor, some zing to it. Really brings it out. Love having some lemon pepper and lemon all up in the fucking seafood. Always a good addition. Speaking of which, now that we got the lemon in, we're gonna go ahead, add some lemon pepper. Got some dill seeds. Go ahead, nice little pinch of these. Don't want to go too crazy with this, but a good bit. Just want a nice coating, light coating. Once you get those in, hit it with some fish seasoning. Once again, don't want to go crazy with this. Just a light layer over the top. A little bit of salt, some pepper. Just gonna want to roll these around in the pan, keep the heat on them, let them kind of marinate in all the herbs. And that lemon juice too. Want to really soak that lemon juice flavor up. Like I said, you don't want to really put the high heat on this because they are a very delicate seafood. You know, once they're done, once they come to a full white, the very center shouldn't be translucent like they are now. It should come to a nice solid white. You want them to brown up a little bit. You want a little bit of brown on them, but not much. You don't want to overcook these because they'll start to get tough on you. We've got our scallops here. They've been cooking for a few minutes now. Really starting to look good. You start to smell the flavors coming out. It's starting to turn white. Not completely done yet. Still can cook for another couple minutes. So what we're going to do in the meantime, let's go ahead and come back over to our peas. We're going to throw some butter into the peas. Take our fork. Just going to want to get that in there and let the peas do its thing with melting that butter down. That'll add just a little bit of flavor to the peas so they're not so bland. Let that melt in. Then we're going to take the potatoes, bring that over here. Right now it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor or seasonings in it, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some chopped chive. Chive and potato is always a good mix. So we're going to hit it with some chives. Probably about a tablespoon or so, maybe a little less. You're just going to want to mix that in real good. Spread it all throughout. You have to really mix it in good because the dry ingredients will have a tendency to kind of stick together once you mix them into a wet mix like this. So make sure you go all the way around the bowl, make sure everything gets mixed in good. Now we're going to come back over to our scallops. They're almost done. Probably gonna let them go for another minute or so. And we're gonna take these out, put them into our bowl, get all that liquid drained out, and we're gonna get them prepared to get put on the kebabs, the slices of lemon that we got. Okay, now our scallops are just about done. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the heat off, give a nice little shake, put them in a bowl over here, let them cool down for a minute so we can handle them, let them sit in that juice, that lemon juice with all the herbs, shake it around a little bit, let that sit for a minute, let it cool down some. What we're gonna do, go ahead, we're going to take our skewers, we got wooden skewers, got metal ones, but I prefer the wooden ones, especially for cooking with seafood. What we're going to do is we're going to take these lemon wedges that we already have cut, very thin slices of lemon, we're going to alternate it with scallops. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, pierce one, push it through, throw in the lemon wedge. This one will follow that pattern until you fill the whole kebab up. We're gonna do short kebabs. Once you get them about how you want to go ahead and spread it out a little bit so everything has a little bit of room to breathe. Bam, just like that. Let them sit like this, and they'll lay on top of the lemon wedges, give it more flavor. Once you get all of them done like that, you're gonna want to go ahead and use a little bit of lemon juice over top from your other lemon cut. Just add a little bit more flavor. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna follow that process for the other three and get 4 kebabs going like this. Don't go nowhere. You're cooking with Kraven, only in Klive's kitchen. Everything's done. Got our scallops done, potatoes are done, peas are done. Everything looks good. Added some of that sauce that was left over from the scallops over top of them at the end. Looks fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and give everything a little bit of a try. To start off, the cream potatoes. See how these are. Almost kind of like a mashed potato. Really taste the chives in it. It's good, very good. Get a little bit of that. We did the peas with butter. Very good. A little salt and pepper in there with them. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and give one of our scallops a try. I'm going to brush it with some lemon. A lot of flavor, a whole lot of flavor. Lemon's very good on that. Pepper brings it out. It's cooked to the right consistency. It's not chewy. It's not too soft. Perfect. Wash it all down with cream soda, and that's how it's done. But we ain't done yet. It's the season finale. As I said, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna also make a dessert. So I'm gonna snatch this down. After we get done eating this, we're gonna be back. We're gonna make the dessert. So don't go nowhere. You're cooking with Kraven, only in Klive's kitchen. Okay, so we got our meal done, just got done eating. Time to make some dessert. I'm gonna make one of my personal favorite dishes, churros. Churros is basically a deep fried donut or a pastry. It's covered in cinnamon and sugar, and it's fantastic. Learned to make it a long time ago. We're gonna make it today. We're gonna start the pot with some water. Turn that on high heat. Get your water in there. We got some sugar. We're gonna get our sugar in there. Basically, we just got a sugar water mix. You wanna go ahead and give that a nice whisk. Mix that sugar in the water. Gonna add some oil. Get every drop in there. Don't leave any of that out. Then, gonna add just a little bit of salt. Mix that in with the oil. What we're doing here is we're basically just bringing this to a boil. You don't want to let it cook too long. You just want to let it boil for a minute because you don't want to evaporate any of the water off. You just want to get it to the point where it's hot, and then we'll take it off the heat and we'll add in some flour. And that is basically what makes it to its thick consistency once it's all done. Okay, so now we've got our water brought to a boil. We're going to go ahead, turn the heat off, pull it on over here. We got our flour, cup of flour. We're gonna drop that in. Just gonna want to mix this around. You're gonna see that it's gonna thicken up. It'll come to like a dough-like consistency, which is exactly what we want. There we go. Make sure you get it all mixed in there good. You don't want none of the dry ingredients being shown. If you see, you can see some of it clumped up still. You want to mix that in real good till it's all solid consistency. Just keep batting it up. Mixing it in real good. Eventually, it'll get to where it is right now. It's just one solid mass. All the liquid kind of dries up out of it, turns into a dough. From this point, take this dough, ball it all up, take a little bit of flour. Just gonna cover our hands with a little bit of flour. What this does makes it a lot easier when you're rolling it. It doesn't stick to your hand as much. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this ball of dough. We're gonna start pulling chunks off and rolling them into small balls. You don't want to make them big. You want to keep them probably about the size of a marble, big marble. Don't want to go much bigger than that. The bigger you make them, the longer it takes to fry them in the deep fryer. Plus, you want to make sure that they stay crispy. You don't want them real doughy in the side. You want them crispy the way I like them. You want to make sure they're nice and small. We're going to go ahead and roll the rest of these out. Okay, so we got all the balls of dough rolled out, all completely ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our plate of dough over to the deep fryer. I'm going to drop these in. Should be able to get all these in one go. You really don't want to stack them on top because you don't want them to cook together. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and give these a little shake. Drop them one down. Gonna let these cook in there until they brown up. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a plate. We got some sugar, some cinnamon. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna mix these together. So we're gonna put some sugar on a plate. Split it out. Then we're gonna take some cinnamon. Sprinkle that in. Take our fork and just mix this in together. I'm gonna mix it real good until it comes to a solid consistency. Pretty much like sand once it's all done. Give that a shake. Now what we're going to do with this, once we pull our balls of dough out of the deep fryer, we're going to take them out and roll them in this, and that's going to give it its sweetness. So we're going to come back one over. We're going to see the progress that we got on the balls of dough. As you can see, they're just starting to really cook. Still haven't browned up. You want it to be a golden brown consistency. So we're going to let these cook in the deep fryer for probably about another 3 to 5 minutes. After that, we're going to pull them out, roll them in the flavoring, and take it from there. Don't go nowhere. You're cooking with Kraven, only in Klive's kitchen. We've had these balls of dough deep frying now for a few minutes. What we're going to do, we're going to take our plate. Got a bunch of napkins on there, paper towels, whatever you want to use. Catch all the grease. We're going to pull this out. Give it a shake, let all that extra grease go off, back into the deep fryer. Once most of the grease drips off, you can take these, get them onto the plate, straggle it. Cover our deep fryer back up, turn this off. What you're going to want to do once you get them out like this, I like to just kind of wipe all the grease off using the napkins or paper towels or whatever you want to use. Get all that extra grease off. You can see it goes through all that shit. So there's grease in there that you don't need. Once we get them like this, all that grease is off, we go ahead and bring this plate on over here. Now we come to the very last step, which is taking these and rolling them in. So we're going to take our balls of dough, roll them into this, get them plated up. So what you're going to want to do is drop it in, roll it around. While it's still hot, it'll automatically pick all that up from the grease on the outside, the oil, and it'll coat itself like that. So we're going to go ahead and do all of these like that. Okay, so as you can see, churros are all done. They've been rolled, smell fantastic, they look great. Go ahead and give one of these a try. I already know it's gonna be good. I've had these a million times. Still nice and hot. Being in the fryer. Salt on the inside, real crispy on the outside. Cinnamon and sugar gives it that sweetness. Fantastic. And that's how it's done. Well, don't be tuning in next week. It's the season finale, that's it. But we will be back. When? Who knows? But we will be back to be cooking whatever you decide to fucking vote on. I'm out. Peace. See you fucks next season.
Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it.